Hello and welcome to a new Let's Play. I needed something a little different. So we're going to play Sunless Skies. This is actually the third game in the Fallen London saga. The first game is a browser-based game, which I think is still running. Then Sunless Seas, which is an ocean-based game, and Sunless Skies, which is a mashup between trains and rocket ships. Yeah, that sounds like the kind of crazy that I could get into. Start a new game. You die, you can only continue with a new captain, or if you die, you can reload or continue with a new captain. Look, have mercy on me, baby. Many weapons are gently towards an arc, making aim easier. Or aggressively. Okay. You know what, yeah. Default, somewhat slower. Significantly slower. Fuel and supplies are consumed at the default rate. Last longer, much longer. Find it hard to survive or earn money, this should help. You know what, I'm fine with being a coward. Saving. Your locomotive has a horn. You may toot it. It does nothing. But it toots. Log of Her Majesty's Locomotive of the Orphine, March 14th, 1905. Our expedition to the domains of the dead have been eventful. The Orphine is damaged and in grievous need of repairs and supplies. We are returning in haste to the Reach, where I hope to make port at New Winchester. May God be with us, for 1,000 deaths wait in the sky. Final entry of Captain Amelia Charity Whitlock, DCM, written shortly before her death. It's gonna be one of those worlds, isn't it? Fail Better Games presents. If you fail better, you're learning. Okay. So, rust. Brake. Okay. And we can steer. Nice. You've returned to the Reach, an untamed, sunless span of heavens, London's new frontier, a celestial garden run wild. Oh, we have strafe. Your journey back from the Blue Kingdom was tumultuous. Your locomotive is damaged, and Captain Whitlock badly wounded. Oh no! As first officer, the crew looks to you. Nearest station is New Winchester. Can you get Orpheum there safely? Good question. Anything up here? No. X is cruise control. Much relief for your stokers, you find a barrel of fuel among the detritus. Hooray! The Ozymandias. Wreck of the Ozymandias. The wreck hangs in the sky, pocketed with recent gunfire. You and the boarding party don your sky suits, garments of wax canvas, lined with felt to protect against the cold of the sky. Two of the crew are whispering as they dress. What business did Captain Whitlock have in the Blue Kingdom anyway? Why the devil did we trespass in the districts of the dead? Silence him. Now's not the time. Well, the only thing we got to do is leap across to the wreck. The gap between the two engines isn't wide, but the endless fathoms of heavens gape beneath it. Leading the way, you jump. Your stomach lurches with vertigo as the stars blaze above you and below. The air of the heavens is thin, torn by unpredictable winds. Then your boots hit the running board of the Ozymandias, and your leather glove hands fumble for a hold. One of your companions throws you a line, and you lash the two engines together. Only then do the rest of your boarding party follow you. One of them forces open an exterior hatch, and you clamber inside. Wait, I'm in charge of this thing, and I'm the one that jumps? Nah. Her interior is cold, unlit, and whistles with wind. Your party lamps spread buttery light over the narrow, paneled passages. You make your way towards the hold, stepping over bodies crumpled to the corridor. Fortunately, your way is blocked. The bulkhead has been mangled inward by well-armed barrage. Clear the obstruction away. You locate a length of pipe to use the pry bar to set to work. So test your iron skill. Iron is the skill of confronting and overcoming. Your iron gives you a 75% chance of success. Lead your party on a more precarious path. Go back out on the Ozymandias hull, climb past the blockage, and enter through a window on the far side, and do so carefully. Veil is the skill of deceiving and evading. Let's be sneaky. Success! The rest of the boarding party follow you without enthusiasm. You recall the first time you climbed outside an engine, helping the captain fix a leak on an exterior pipe. The wind had shrieked, buffeting at you. You asked the captain what would happen if you slipped. You fall, she answered tersely. But where to, you ask? She looked down, then up, then back. The sky's depths spiraled all about you. Away, she said, and you heard her fear. Back in the present, you tumble back towards the Ozymandias through a shattered window. Your party spill in after you, glad to be back inside. You reach the Ozymandias hole, a ruin of smashed cargo and spilled supplies. Hopefully somewhere amidst the detritus you can find parts to repair the Orphean and restock your stores. Conduct a thorough search. Your companions work quickly. The Ozymandias hull has begun to creak. Your actions on board may have compromised its integrity. Oh no! Renewed. You find enough food and gear to restock your supplies, and enough spare parts to make necessary repairs to the Orphean. Food will need to be thoroughly thawed, of course, but you've eaten worse in the skies. Oh! Cries one of your party, prying the lid off a long crate. It holds a cannon, still nestled in straw. Another crewman pulls a battered bird cage from a pile of ruined cargo. Within the cage, something winged and furred opens a sullen eye. You imagine your finds. Gained 4 supplies, new total of 5. You gained 15 hull, new total of 30. Nice. From the hold, you have retrieved repairs, and then your locomotive and an educated bat. Liberate a diffident bat and employ it as a scout. The heavens are wide, so locomotives use scouts like bats to locate things of interest, port resources, wrecks like this one scavenge. You can claim both this and the cannon. Okay. Well, I definitely want the bat. Bat treats the rescuers as inconvenience and immediately begins haggling over pay. You offer to put it back in its damn cage and leave it with the Ozymandias, at which point it becomes more polite. You doubt it'll last. You have none diffident bat. Well, mount the Jerusalem cannon on the Orphean. Her own weapons were damaged during your fight against the Blue Kingdom. That leaves you vulnerable. Cutterell and Hathage, Jerusalem fires a single shell to a good range, more or less accurately. You order 2 of your party to get back to your vessel and fit it immediately. The Ozymandias groans again. The structure shudders spasmodically. 1 Cordell and Hathage, Jerusalem. This is not without risk. Might find more fuel there, but you better hurry. The Ozymandias are beginning to tear apart. Let's try. Wreck of the unmanned screeches as metal buckles and tears. You press on through the shuddering corridors, searching frantically for the engine room. Send a smaller party ahead to retrieve fuel. Foolish for all of you to go. Send your quickest and lightest to retrieve the fuel. While the rest of you return to the orifice. Hard is a skill of convincing and enduring. 50% chance. Go yourself and conduct a hasty search. Send the rest of the boarding party back to the orphan. Go on alone. Mirror is a skill of investigating and deducing. I'm not going to ask my crew to do anything I will not. Success! Nick of time. The wreck's engines are choked with old ash. You surf swiftly, aware of every creak in the bulkhead, every tremble that runs through the dead locomotive. Finding several sacks of coal, you drag them to the exterior hacks and fling them across the Orphean before leaping after them. Unshackling your locomotive from the Ozymandias, you stoke your engines and steam away, restocked, refueled, repaired, and rearmed. You've gained 2 new fuel, for a total of 4. Open radial menu. We got officers, which we don't have any. We got an inventory. We got fuel, and we got other stuff. Okay. Current location. Albion, Euthuria, Blue Kingdom. Got discovered something. See what it is? Open your chart. Oh. Pair of terms you can only describe as a right mode. Must have found something. Okay. Summoned by Captain Whitlock. Walls of the captain's cabins are lined with hodgepodge of curios from across the sky. Captain Whitlock lies in bed. Black marks cover her skin like a monstrous brand. When she coughs, coils of acid spokes pour from her lungs. Inquire after the captain's injuries. Locomotive's doctor attends her. His lips are tight. Captain opens her eyes to draw near. She attempts to smile. She summoned me, so something she probably wants me to know. Mouth is blistered from blue fires that dance on her tongue. Her hand gripped your arms. Her skin is hot as a kettle. Make arrangements. The Orphean will be yours. Her voice is just a rasp of burned meat breath. But promise! She breaks off to scream a word in a language that is not made for human mouths. When she resumes speaking English, she is weaker. Her request a little more than a gasp. Promise me one last service. Promise! Ain't no promise. Tell her to rest. Whatever condition is contagious. Ooh. Demand to know why. I mean, all sorts of. These are all relatively normal things to do, but we'll be a good person. We promise. All in my will. Be better. She breaks off as sigils burn in her bones flare, glowing cherry red through her flesh and skin. Better captain than I. The effort exhausts her. She sinks back in the scorched pillows in twisting, frantic fever. Ugh. The walls of the captain's cabins are lined with hodgepodge of curios. Captain Whitlock lies in bed. Black marks cover her skin like a monstrous plant. When she coughs, she coils acid smoke. Okay. Take your leave. You have an engine to command. Onwards. Leave the cabin the scorched stink of the air behind. Return to the bridge. New Winchester is further than you like, and the captain hasn't long left. Okay. Scout has indeed so. Oh boy. Our cannon actually shoves us backwards, which is kind of cool. Gotcha. Reach Marauder is defeated. Pair board the buckled wreckage, poised to plunder the... I don't think I need any repairs, so let's raid. Ill-gotten gaze. Boarding party returns with wallets and watches, couplings, lockets, and keepsakes. Stored in the safe to be pawned when, if you make it back to port. 46 sovereigns. Gotcha. Bancroft's Forum. Oh. A zooms in. That's very useful. Let's dock. New Winchester. Arrival New Winchester. You coast in the bustle, the din, the soot, the steam of Woolsby Station. It's clogged with other engines, scrappy mining locomotives from Luston Way, weathered explorers gleaming with frost, sleek company vessels bright with brass fittings. No sooner have you pulled the sidings than a brusque station manager bustles over. Request to come aboard. I must speak with your captain, he insists, brandishing a ledger. The usual formalities. Look to the Orphean's doctor. He just appeared at your shoulder. His face is solemn. His hat is in your hands. He lowers his eyes. Oh. The crew exchange a bleak, wordless look. The Orphean itself feels suddenly more empty. The station manager looks confused. You inform him that, unfortunately, Captain Whitlock has just passed. Ah, he says neutrally. Sorry to hear that. Very sad, very sad. He waits for what he considers an appropriate minute and a half before continuing. Alas, even amidst tragedy, the cogs of bureaucracy must turn. Captain Whitlock is deceased. Station authority requires their answers come from the first officer. Dons a set of spectacles and locates his friend. Be relatively painless. Name, background, purpose of visit, etc. Shall we begin? Sure. Create our captain. Today, London rests between the stars. Her new empire unfolds across the heavens. But 10 years ago, before the Northern Gate was open, before the renewed Empress led her people in the skies, it lay in a vast cavern far beneath the earth. Deep, dark, mobless. Who are you then? Street urchin? No parents, no laws, no mancers, but also no roof over your head, no money, and often no dinner. Freedom comes at a price. You'll begin with high veils, but skill of evading The skill of evading and deceiving. Nice. Soldier, yours is not to reason why, yours is but to do and die. You begin with high iron, the skill of confronting and overcoming. A poet. The pen, the ink, the blank, monstrous page. You begin with a high heart, skill of convincing and enduring. An academic. Student of the science, the arts, of philosophy. You begin with high mirrors, skill of investigating and deducing. A priest, hymns and hymnals, Sundays and sermons. You begin with high hearts. A sailor. You rove the mournful, merciless waters of the Undersea, which is the previous game. Ministry Auditor. For a time, you served at the Ministry of Public Decency, which has become Her Majesty's preferred instrument. Interesting. Revolutionary. The world is broken. One way for the rich, another for the poor. You decide to do something about it. Yeah. You were revolutionary. The law offered you no protection. The engine of the state was set against which you knew was to be just. So how did you resist? Your feet and your fist, you marched, and when marching wasn't enough, you fought. Lies are the tools of tyrants. You published research to expose the lies and eliminate injustice. With your art travels swiftly. It cannot be imprisoned. It cannot be hanged. Increases your heart, skill of convincing, enduring, and affiliates you with Bohemia. Affiliates you with the villainy. We're definitely a Bohemian. What ambition? What does winning mean to you? Wealth, fame, the truth. Be warned, this is demanding ambition. Best played with a lineage that's already completed wealth or fame. Okay. Money then. And we get to choose our hat. I like that. Well, that doesn't matter too much. Attendant, secretary, administrator, principal, archivist, officer, professor, doctor, specialist, milady, my lord, captain, citizen, sir, ma'am, reverend, sister, brother, comrade. We will be comrade. And I guess we will start off as our first captain. All right, when we come back, we start the game. Have a good one, folks.